and condenser. I'm going to replace those and adjust the point gap.
Spin it off here pretty quick. I think it's actually loose enough now.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Get that stuff out of there. Okay, very good.
We're working on the 54 Chevrolet, and in order to get the nut off that holds the contacts for the points and the condenser to the little terminal bolt here, it's got this screw. I'll come around here and take a look at it. It's got this screw or this nut that has two little slots in it. I'm going to go down here, get the camera to focus in on it here. If it'll, yeah, there we go. The camera's having a tough time focusing on it. Okay, see if we can pull it out there a little bit more. Okay, there we go. See how there's a little slot in that nut. It's a really weird kind of nut. And so there's another nut that holds on the contact from the wire to the coil. In order to get this off, we had to make up a special tool. And here's the tool setup that we use. We found these needle nose at Tractor Supply, and we've got a small pair of vice grips on there to hold it at the proper gap and to provide reinforcement, because without that there's not enough. These are too pliable, they won't stay in position. And okay, we're going to get another photo of it here. This way we can replace the points. I don't know why they use that kind of nut, but it's just kind of an odd nut. Now putting on the new condenser, we got the points in there, and we're just going to hook up the condenser lead to the terminal bolt there. So now all we got to do is just put the screw back in for mounting the points and adjust the points, and then reconnect the coil wire.
Point gap at 0.016, right about there, and we're at top dead center.
And we're using the homemade tool here to tighten up that nut that goes into that Bakelite insulator.
Trouble finding, there we go.
Here's a new oil filter. I'm going to put on the new Fram oil filter. You can see that it looks a lot like the old one. Here's the old one here. Here's how the oil filter goes on to the oil filter housing. And it came with new gaskets as well, so we can then put the top on the oil filter canister. Okay, here's the top for the canister.
Probably just use, maybe that was for a different size, you reckon?
Yeah, I don't know. It might have come with different size gaskets. I'll fill up the oil filter chamber with oil so that when we start it up, it's got oil in that part of the system.
And that needs to be replaced. God, if that ever busted, it'd have a hell of a mess.
Put the top back on now. I'm going to pour a little bit of gasoline into the carburetor, all ready to give it a test starting. Dispense gasoline into the carburetor. Okay, we're now ready to test it. It ought to be able to run a little bit on that gas that we put in it. Well,
trying. I'm going to spray in some ether and try to start it up again.